back to class. In our last class, which is our chapter 1, we took us on introduction to tax audit and investigation. Like I mentioned in the chapter 1 part 1, that this course is all about tax audit and investigation practice. Okay, so what you need to know, um, while what you need to know in tax audit and in tax investigation. So because I haven't gone through these institute examination, and you qualify to be a chartered taxation a chartered tax practitioner. Okay, so you are, or you may be called upon uh, by the Internal Revenue Service, be it at the federal level or local or state, to engage you in a tax audit or tax investigation. And you can be a tax auditor or tax investigation without having a prerequisite knowledge of audit and investigation in particular to tax. Okay, particular to taxation. Now, this course has been designed to cover the audit of all variables in the income statement, balance sheet, cash, in short, all financial statements. Okay, because that's what is an audit evidence for who, for the tax authority. Okay, is an evidence. It's a document for what, for tax authority to on which they base their opinion, their judgments. Okay, so on which a decision is formed, that, oh, this taxpayer has been complying or not. Okay, because when they pick up a financial statement, they will look at the history of the taxpayer. Okay, how has the taxpayer been complying? Okay, like they have 5 years financial statements. They look at the year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4 to year 5. That's what we call that trend analysis. When we get there, we do that. That's another course at this level. We call that tax and financial analysis. Okay, so now in that case, what they do is that, oh, this particular taxpayer has not been complying over the years. Okay, so year 1 non-compliance, year 2 non-compliance, year 3 non-compliance, year 4 non-compliance. So, and year 5 also shows non-compliance. So then a dex audit will be carried out by the tax authority, and a letter will be sent to the taxpayer that they are coming for a field audit. Okay, they are coming for what? They are coming for a field audit. So now this chapter 2 particularly is, we'll be talking on the practical aspect of tax audit. Okay, so we'll be talking of practical aspect of what? Practical aspect of tax audit. While we took us on introduction to audit and investigation in chapter 1, where we discussed the meaning and objective of audit and investigation, merit and demerits of auditing and investigation, qualities of an auditor and investigator, fundamental principles of auditing. Okay, fundamental principles of auditing, concept of expectation gap in auditing. Okay, let me put that in writing. In our last class, which is chapter 1 of this course, we take us on introduction to audit and investigation. Okay, introduction to audit and investigation. So where we take meaning and objectives of auditing and auditing and investigation. We discuss merits and demerits of audit and investigation, and also we discuss qualities of an auditor and investigation. Okay, investigator. And also we discuss the fundamental principles of auditing. what are the fundamental principles of I know by now you will know what the fundamental principles of auditing are, just like for accountants. Okay, so also it's applicable to tax auditor as well. So then also we discuss concepts of expectation gap in auditing, concept of expectation gap in auditing, and as well we discuss differentiation between a tax auditor, or differentiation between tax audit and statutory audit. When you say statutory audit, that's a audit of financial statements which is made compulsory by by the relevant regulatory body such as the CAMA and Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria and the likes. So also we discuss differentiation between the internal auditor, external auditor. So external auditor is being referred to as the statutory auditor, external auditor, and the tax auditor. Okay, so now in this chapter 2 we'll be looking at tax audit and investigation principles. Again, tax audit and investigation principles, or you say tax audit or investigation principles. Here, under tax audit and investigation principles, we'll be taking definition, nature, and purpose of tax audit or investigation, in which we will discuss an audit of tax in overview of tax audit, and classification and types of audit. Also, we'll be taking rules and objectives of tax audit or investigation, where we will discuss legal framework for tax audit and tax audit fundamentals. And also, we'll be looking at difference between a tax audit and a tax investigation, in which we will discuss the issue of forensic audit, legal issues, and the role of tax auditor. And also under tax audit or investigation principles, we'll be looking at reasons for tax audit and tax investigation. Why are we doing tax audit and tax investigation? So under this subtopic, we'll be looking at factors for selecting taxpayer for tax audit investigation. Like I mentioned earlier, that non-compliance is one of the reasons why tax audit is being carried out by the tax authority. Okay, so and also we'll be looking at qualities of a good tax audit and tax investigation exercise. The qualities of a good tax audit and tax investigation exercise. So this could be advantage or merit as well. Okay, so now we'll also be looking at appointment of tax auditor. Who appoints a tax auditor, and how a tax auditor is being appointed. Then also we'll be taking duties, rights, and obligations of the tax auditors, and the taxpayers' rights and obligations. So mind you, appointment of tax auditors, or duties and rights of tax auditor, is also similar to appointment of an auditor, and the duties of an auditor's rights and obligations of an auditor, because there is no difference between a tax auditor and a statutory auditor. The only difference is that one is subject to taxation, and while the other is subject to what? To financial statement at large. Okay, so is subject to what? Is subject to financial statements at large, because tax is just an aspect. Okay, it's just an aspect of the financial statement, or is one of the purpose of which a financial statement is being prepared. Okay, so while an audited financial statement might be used for other for other purposes, tax is one of the reasons why a financial statement is being audited. So we also have our taxpayers' right and obligation and professional responsibility. What are the responsibility of a tax auditor? Okay, and under that we'll be taking competencies and ethics of audit staff and tax auditors' independence. Okay, so once again I will urge you to listen attentively while we commence the class in good times and pay utmost attention. In short time we'll be back and we continue from where we stop. Thank you. Goodbye.